So this was a pretty mixed bag results of a week for the Tigers, as the Tigers had two series this week. One they lost to the Rangers, and then they beat the Twins in the other. So yeah, one against the Rangers. It started off pretty frustrating, as the pitching for the Tigers this year has been pretty good. It's been the backbone of this team. But this offense has been very fucking cold. Just no one can contribute on offense. It's just been pretty rough all around. Especially in that Tiger series. Like the only offense the Tigers had was in the third game against Houston, when they really got the offense going. I'll tell you right now, for the Tigers, if the Tigers think they can win games averaging 2 runs a game, then they're in the wrong fucking sport. You're not going to win many games in baseball averaging 2 runs a game. But the series against Minnesota, the Tigers looked pretty good against the Twins in that one, as the offense was clicking on all cylinders outside of Spencer Torkelson. Not sure what the hell is up with Torx. Torx has been off to a very fucking cold start this year. Like, I'm not sure if he's having the sophomore slump or what. Because the sophomore slump can be a real thing. It happens to some players. Just some players sometimes get it, some don't. Kind of fucking weird. And even Javi Baez, even being inconsistent, even though he's done some things, including in the series against Minnesota. The problem is, though, he's still one of the worst free agent signings for the Tigers in the Tigers' recent memory. Keep in mind, Tigers are paying this man $140 million over the next couple years. Oof. But the Tigers, they were able to eke that series out and get a big series win against the Twins to try and stay alive currently in the early battles for the AL Central, as they remain third in the AL Central behind Cleveland and Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City's been off to a really good start this year. So yeah, now the Tigers sit at 12-10 through 22 games. Yeah, it's safe to say I think the Tigers have been sunk back down to earth. After having that hot start to open the season, now they've kind of cooled down. After that hot start, they kind of got cold, and now you've really seen how cold they can get. And they're going to be playing some pretty good teams coming up here, because you got the Rays coming up next week, and then you also got the Royals next week during the NFL draft, which that series is in Detroit during the draft, when the NFL draft is in Detroit next weekend. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I think you're going to see a lot of Detroit fans, and maybe fans from other teams, doing the double, where they go to the game and then head downtown for the draft. Since the main stage for the draft, it isn't too far away from Comerica Park, because the main draft area is all the way down Woodward Avenue, so that's not too far away from Comerica Park. So hey, maybe some people will be able to enjoy a baseball game and then waddle their ass on over to the draft after. No, I will not be doing that yet. I'm only coming down to Detroit next week for the draft, and that's it. But yeah, 12-10. I mean, it's really still hard to say what the Tigers are this year. I mean, we could go out and say they're still mediocre as all hell. I mean, the one positive we could say is, no matter what, is the Tigers still have a bright future. Still a brighter future than the Pistons, with how much of a shit show the Pistons have become in pro sports. Unless Chris Ilitch finds a way to fuck that up. But yeah, just pretty after the hot start to the year, Tigers have been sunk back down to earth. I mean, that's just baseball, Anybody can get hot in baseball at any point in the season, and anybody can get cold in baseball at any point in the season. The Tigers start off hot, now they're starting to get cold. They look like a mediocre team. I mean, it's still very tough to tell what the Tigers are at this point in the year. I mean, we probably won't know for sure what this team is until possibly the end of May. But yeah, because we've only played 22 games so far, out of 162, and there's still 140 games left to go in the season. Anything can happen in baseball. But yeah, just another quiet week, just another mixed bag week for the Tigers. Struggled against Texas, but did well against the Twins, so at least the series we did well against was a division rival, so I guess we get bragging rights on that one, if you want to call it that, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, that wraps it up for this draft recap. I mean, it's a pretty short recap because there's not much to talk about in Detroit sports. I mean, I wish we could be talking about the Red Wings right now in the playoffs, because they should be in the playoffs right now over fucking Washington. But it is what it is. But yeah, sadly the Tigers are all we got to talk about until September when Lions football season begins. And also in terms of Detroit sports recaps, there will be no recap next week for the Tigers because of the draft next week. I'm putting all my focus and attention next week on the draft, since I will be doing 3 vlogs for the draft next week for the NFL draft. So yeah, I got that to look forward to. There will be no draft reactions this year because the vlogs effectively replaced that. Like, effectively, the vlogs are the reaction for the most part. But yeah, y'all got that to look forward to. So yeah, Tigers recaps will return not next weekend, but the weekend after. The Tigers the Detroit Sports weekly recaps will be taking a 1-week break, so I can focus on the draft next week. So yeah, if anybody's at the NFL draft next week, don't feel afraid to say hi. I'll come say hi to you if you come say hi to me. But yeah, hope to see some of you at the draft in Detroit next weekend. I'll be there all 3 days, so I'll see you all there. Anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I gotta say. See you all in Detroit next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm out.